Hey, it's Emma, aka Stitch by Emma, aka the second best Emma Stone, and y'all wanted a gossip/chat session while we crochet, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I don't really have anything juicy, but we're just gonna chat, okay? Have a little fun. Today's project that we're gonna be working on is a prototype of the butterfly shrug. The butterfly shrug is a pattern that I'm currently writing, which is just basically what it sounds like. It's a shrug with a butterfly on it. And I have to make a couple prototypes of this because I want it to be written in a way that you can use any yarn that you want. So I have to make it with all different kinds of yarn to get the proper hook and gauge combo in there. It's a lot, but I do it for you guys. I do it for you. So let's get juicy. I got scammed on Depop this week, okay? But I don't know if I got scammed or if she genuinely wasn't aware of what the product was. So let's elaborate. I bought this vintage jumpsuit, okay? And by the way, if you see me crocheting and it looks like I suck, it's just because I have a really hard time multitasking. Hopefully this channel will help me get better at that. Okay, so I bought this vintage jumpsuit and it was super cute looking and I was vibing with it, and it was labeled as true vintage. And when she had the pictures up, you could see the tags on it a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, we're vintage, we're real. And I ended up buying it, and when it came in the mail, it was literally a Party City costume. And I felt so stupid. I felt so embarrassed because I was like, how did I not see it, number one? But then when I compared it to the jumpsuit in the picture, it was different. The patchwork was different, the thread used to seam everything together was different, the tags were cut off on the one that I got, and also it was a halter jumpsuit and the back was stuck together with Velcro. Velcro! Literally Velcro. And I was so upset. I was so upset because I thought it was so cute and I was so excited, and it obviously wasn't the same thing. The measurements were off too. Like the bust, she had it put as a 32 bust, which is what I am. So I was like, oh, lovely, it'll fit. It was a 26 bust. Hello, who has a 26 bust? Definitely not me. So I was like, Jesus, I'm so dumb. But luckily, it all got resolved. I got Depop involved a little bit because her thing said no returns, and I was like, God, idiot. Maybe she just didn't realize that it was a Party City costume. Maybe. Because I want to give the benefit of the doubt. I want to see the good in people because I've been having a hard time doing that lately. One of my flaws is that I always want to see the good in people, and lately that's becoming a flaw in the opposite way, in which I never want to, which is sad, and I don't want to do that. I hope I'm positioned in a way that I don't look stupid right now, but I can't really tell. I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys though. I have been having the worst creative block ever. All I can think to do right now is to write patterns for pieces I've already created, which is great and all, and that's good for me and that's good for you, and we both get to make patterns and test patterns and have fun. But I am used to working on that while simultaneously having a couple other fun designs that I'm testing, testing from my brain, or things that I'm trying new and coming up with. And I feel like I haven't done that in a while because I don't know why. I don't know why the creative block is just getting to me right now, and it sucks. I hate it. I hate being creatively blocked. I need to be flowing 24/7 or I hate myself. Ugh, God. I think when I released my last pattern, I spent so much time focused on making pieces for that pattern that that was all I could think of in my head, and it turned off the creative switch for literally anything else. I couldn't think of anything else. And I had so many ideas, I feel and then all of a sudden those ideas were just boop, not there. Not there. And I can't get them back. I feel like it's getting darker outside too. It's gonna rain. If it gets dark, we're just gonna have a dark cozy chat, okay? Because I can't deal with this. So I woke up to a thunderstorm this morning while having 3 different dreams. One dream was that somebody review bombed my Etsy, and I woke up and my Etsy was at 1 star, and somebody told me that somebody had a hit on me, and they told me I had to leave the country and change my identity to avoid this person because their step 1 in their master plan was to make me lose my business, and then they were gonna me. So that was scary. And then I also had a dream that I went to go see a play version of Challengers with Mike Feist and Josh O'Connor, and Zendaya was in the show as a one woman show, and she was so mad at me for being there with them. but I was like, I don't know how I got here. I'm just here, you know? And I gotta be honest with you, I cannot remember the third one right now. It is just, it's not coming to my brain. It's not there. If I remember it in the middle of this, I'm just gonna pop it in. Let's lecture about pattern etiquette for a second, okay? Because here's the thing. I fully believe that anybody should be able to recreate any piece that they want for themselves. Like, period. Whether they use a pattern or not, I think you should be able to do that because you got free will, right? And nobody is truly that unique that you won't allow somebody to be able to make a piece inspired by you, you know? And I think when it comes to pattern writing, I think if you write a pattern that's inspired by somebody's, but it's different in its own special way, you know, we're all just culminations of each other's work. We're all just culminations of each other's inspiration. There would be no art without inspiration, point blank, period, you know? Anyway, I think, however, if you work off of somebody's work and you are aware of that you're working off of somebody's work, not adding your own touches, not doing your own thing, it's literally a recreation of somebody else's work, and then you try to write a pattern for it, that's where we get dicey. Okay, that's where we get a little dicey. And I had this issue this week when a girl DM'd me a beat by beat recreation of a top that I made. And I'm not saying it's like I'm the only person in the world who could have thought of that top, but it was a very unique design. Okay, the design is very unique, and she DM'd me that she recreated it, which is fine. She's allowed to do that. Like, I don't care. That she recreated it based on my photo. Also admitted that it was based on my photo, that she worked off the photo and then made her own piece and then posted it. Again, we're fine so far. But then she said that her audience is demanding a pattern. And so she's going to write a pattern for it. And I was like, excuse me? No. Who do you think you are? Because it's just, that's where we hit a weird gray area where somebody's like, this is your design. I remade it, and now I'm going to profit off of it. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's weird. And so I told her, like, actually, I wouldn't feel comfortable with somebody recreating my pattern. And the fact that she DM'd me and, like, asked to do it too, I think usually if you have to DM somebody to ask, then a part of you knows that you're in the wrong, if that makes sense. Because it was so weird. But then she was like, unless you don't want me to. And I was like, well, of course I don't want you to. Like, I don't, no, that's not happening. So hopefully she doesn't do it, because it was just also weird because she was like, when I write the pattern, I will credit you as my source. And I'm like, I wouldn't need credit. I would need residuals, okay? I would need to see I would need to see the money if you're going to be profiting off of something that I designed and you're admitting that I designed. You know, it's weird. It's weird. There's so much like gray area in patterns and stuff, but that is something where I think like, okay, because again, when it comes to patterns, there's so much that you cannot copyright. There is so much that it's like, you can't copyright a basic skirt, you can't copyright a basic sweater, you can't copyright basic shorts, you know, like you can't copyright checkers and stripes. No. And and technically I can't really copyright, but I did either. But sometimes you come across something unique, and when you see somebody recreate it, you're like, oh, I know that you worked off of somebody else's picture. And if you want to post it, sell it, I really don't care. That's none of my business. If you want to try and copyright the design under your name as a pattern, no. No! God, I don't know. It just, that's the juiciest of my gossip, I guess, because it was weird. It was a little bit weird. I don't know. I think what's annoying to me sometimes too is the fact that like I can get so many ideas and I'm like, I'm going to start working on this soon, and then I don't get the time to start working on it, and then I see that somebody literally made the idea that was in my head. And now I'm afraid to make it because I'm afraid that somebody is going to come at me and say that I copied them when I didn't. And I literally had the idea first, but I just didn't do it in time. So it's like, again, like you never know when that's the situation as well. And I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But when people tell me I worked off your picture and I'm going to try and profit off this now, that's where I say no. There's just so many ideas flowing in everybody's head at the same time. And to think that you are the only person who could have thought of that, like, it's it's bizarre to me. It's very like conceited, I guess. But I mean, who am I to talk? I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just sitting here crocheting a shrug. Can we get deep for a second though? Because I kind of want to get deep. But if you don't want to get deep, you can click off. I won't be offended. But I am so sick and tired of not being taken seriously. I'm so sick and tired of it. I made a TikTok earlier today about how like employers are constantly posting articles and like so vocally and proudly talking about how they don't want to like work with Gen Z and that they think that Gen Z is like lazy and that their ideas are too out there and they're all this and this and this. And it was an angry video because that video is about feeling like I'm not being taken seriously as a candidate in that sense, okay? First comment on the video from a man telling me that I look like an anime girl. Again, not being taken seriously over something that I am seriously so mad about. I feel like I'm not taken seriously by a lot of my family for trying to pursue something a little bit more creative. I feel like I'm not taken seriously by peers in the art world or by other companies who are trying to do collabs and stuff because I don't have as big of an audience. I feel like I'm not taken seriously just by anybody. I don't know what I need to do to be taken seriously. Do I need to age 10 years? Do I need to gain 1 million followers? I literally like don't know what it's going to take. I literally just finished like a full cry sesh before making this video because I just felt like garbage. Whether it's in this creative world that I've tried to apply my greatest self to, or if it's in the corporate world where I'm doing my very best to try and get my feet on the ground, or if it's just among peers or family where I feel like I'm just not good enough. I don't understand it. I really don't know what it's going to take to feel like people are going to take me seriously and see me as an equal and see me just as a person, I guess. Deep talk over. Actually, back to the deep talk for 1 second. I just don't understand why, you can't be like fun and creative and colorful and artsy and also serious at the same time. You can be a professional and be those things, and I'm so sick of people pretending like that's not possible. Like, think of like corporate outfits, corporate workwear. You're supposed to wear like black slacks and a white shirt or like gray trousers and a black sweater, and that's like all that I see. Why is it considered like inappropriate to wear like just colors into the office? I've seen so many videos on TikTok where girls will be like, this is my like corporate outfits for the week, and they will have on very appropriate clothing. Like there's nothing technically inappropriate about what they're wearing. Their skirts are long, their tops cover them up, their dresses are not like revealing or exposing, and the only thing will be like there's some like fun pattern on it, or it's a little bit colorful, or like there's some details like some frills or whatever. All the comments would be like, this to the office? Yeah, this to the office. Why not? It's depressing enough already. Why do you have to make it more depressing in your clothes? I just don't understand. And people gave me like looks like that sometimes, even when I worked in like retail. Like I followed the dress code to a T, but I would sometimes add a little like this and this here and there, and people would be like, that's a little much, don't you think? Or, oh my god, like I would never think of wearing something like that to work. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. I don't know, maybe I'm just digging my grave deeper here and really nobody's ever gonna want to hire me. Back when I was in high school, I went to a Catholic school and we'd have like out of uniform days, you know? And so on every out of uniform day that we had, I wanted to just like dress to the nines and be fancy. And most people wanted to wear like sweats, which is totally chill. I did not care if I was the only one dressed up. And I also didn't care if other people wore sweats. Like, who am I to judge? If you want to be cozy, be cozy. I just personally wanted to dress up because that was just how I expressed myself and I thought it was fun. But every time I did it, there'd be so many people who'd be like, oh, that's so cute. I could never do something like that. And I'd be like, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish with this, you know? Or when I do my hair, they'd be like, oh, I don't know how you do your hair every day. I could never. Again, I don't understand like what you're trying to accomplish here. Are you trying to make me like feel bad for putting in a little bit of effort? Like it would always make me sad. So I'd go back to like doing like a messy bun every day or whatever. And like there was no effort put into the outfits ever because we wore uniforms, which sucked. Also, I think wearing uniforms in high school like literally damaged my ability to like find personal style, and is why I'm like obsessed with style today. Because I remember when I first got to college, I bought so many clothes. I literally just went shopping like crazy because I was like, I have no clothes. I have nothing to wear to go out. I have nothing to wear to class, because all I had were kind of like sweats and then the occasional like fancier outfit that I'd buy for not a uniform day. But I had nothing that was really like me because I spent like 90% of my days in a uniform. So I bought so many clothes, and then literally by the time freshman year was over, I didn't like any of them anymore because I just like forced myself to try and like fit in with like the sorority girls and all that stuff. And I wanted to be cool, and I wanted people to think that I like fit in and didn't stand out, because I always felt like I stood out no matter where I went, and I didn't want that anymore. I didn't want to stand out. I wanted to be completely fucking normal. Like, I didn't want anybody to look at me any differently than they would anybody else. And that was the only time that I bought a pair of skinny jeans, aside from like middle and elementary school. Because back in elementary school, when my mom would buy my clothes for me, she'd always buy me skinny jeans because she's like, that's what's in or whatever, and I'm like, okay. But then I realized I hated skinny jeans by high school. A lot of people think that it was just because I wanted to be different, but it was actually because like the way that my legs feel when I have denim like tight to them, it's literally like a sensory issue that I cannot like fight over. When I bend my knees with denim on them and I can feel like the tightness of the like thick material on my legs, I want to like tear them off me. So I didn't buy skinny jeans. I would only wear like wide jeans or leggings or sweatpants, or like, because, and at this point in my life too, I didn't know that there were pants that existed other than jeans, because I hadn't dove into like fashion Twitter yet or anything. I was like, oh, when you go shopping, you either buy a shirt or you buy jeans, like that's it. God, what was I even saying? But it was the first time I bought skinny jeans since I was really little, because I wanted so badly to fit in, and I wore them once and then like never again because I hated them so much. I specifically remember like sitting down in my dorm cafeteria to like eat dinner, and when my legs like bent when I sat down with those jeans on, I wanted to just cry because I felt so uncomfortable in them. Never bought them again. And you know what? Good. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining. But yeah, after freshman year, I literally like wanted to get rid of half of my clothes because I didn't like most of them, and they were mostly all not for me. They were for like trying to appease other people, and I hated that. So then unfortunately that happened all again sophomore year. I bought a bunch of new clothes, and I just like tried so hard to like find what my style was, but I couldn't because I was so influenced by people around me and by trends and stuff. And I'm not endorsing that. I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's a horrible thing. My dog's back. Hi, baby. Come here. Jump. Jump. Come here. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Come on. Come on. She's here. Hi, baby. This is the love of my life. This is Aubrey. Aubrey, say hello to the world. She is perfect. Anyway, it all happened again sophomore year, and I realized, oh my god, I don't even know like who I am. I don't even know what kind of clothes I like. And then COVID hit, quarantine hit, and I had no reason to wear clothes again. I was just in pajamas a lot, but then I got obsessed with dressing up and trying to make TikToks and stuff just for fun. And then honestly, as much as like that kind of made me fall into some micro trends at that point in life, that also kind of made me experiment with what I liked more. I think by junior year of college slash the end of senior year, I had a much better grip on like who I was. It took me literally almost 4 years post high school to try and figure out what my personal style was. And I'm still developing, so is everybody else. I don't think we ever fully hit a peak of personal style where you're like, this is it and this is all I'll ever be. I don't think that's possible, and I don't think that's a good thing either. I think change and development is fun, and I also think it's important. I've seen people on TikTok say that like true personal style is wearing just the same thing every single day. I saw somebody say that like one of the only people who truly nailed personal style was Steve Jobs and Elizabeth Holmes because they wear the same thing every day. That is not true. That's just simply not true, and that's dumb. And don't tell people that they need to wear literally the same jeans and t-shirt every single day if they want to be sustainable. Oh, it is raining so hard now. Well, we didn't make that much progress, but we're gonna get there. I hope to have a sleeve done on this by the end of the day, and then who knows? Maybe I'll have a tester call out for this. Excuse me, within the month. Thanks for watching. I hope my gossip sash slash venting was somewhat cathartic, somewhat enjoyable, and I will see you next time. Let me know if there's anything you want to see from me in particular. I have ideas, I have thoughts, but it's always good to hear a little bit of feedback on what you want to see. I love just talking. So if you like just talking, we can just keep talking for a little bit. All right, have a good day. Bye.